Welcome, Aquarius. This is Kat's Real Life Mystic Tarot, and it's Friday the 13th, the harvest moon, and I'm doing your 15th through the end of the month, September 2019. I've been anxious to do this reading because, first of all, I'm an Aquarius, and Aquarius rising, and Aquarius Venus, and I have a lot going on, so I'm suspecting so do you guys. I was meditating on your energy and I had an interesting meditation. Um, Initially, I was out walking and I started to see it. And what I saw were road signs like a fork in the road, um, like a one-way road sign. When I came back in to actually formally do the meditation, I was on the road, but the signs were gone. There were no signs. But there was the fork in the road, and we're on a dusty kind of desert road. There's the big cactus there. It's very dry and hot. I have a water bottle, but the water bottle's pretty much half full and lukewarm. And I know I can't stay here. I have to keep going. So I have to make a choice in the fork in the road. Which way am I going to go, to the left or to the right? And there's no road signs anymore. There really wasn't any help at this point. Not that those signs helped that much, but yeah, it was just nothing. I was on my own. So interestingly, I think I chose to go to the left. And as I was walking, the water bottle became more full and the water became cold. It was kind of hanging at my side, so I could feel that it was becoming colder and fresher water. And my step became lighter. It was as if I was moving into a more youthful state, like I was becoming younger as I was walking. And previously, when I looked down the road, I could just see those heat waves coming off the road, and it was hot and dusty, and I couldn't see anything in order to choose which road. But now, as I've moved along it for a while, I could see green. Nothing specific, but green. So it was very interesting, and what I got from that was you can't stay here. You're going to move from here. There's a choice to make. You're not going to have too much information on that choice in terms of it won't clearly be one way or another. You're going to have to make a choice, and you're just going to have to put one foot in front of the other and go. And good things will lie in wait. Your life will become more rewarding. So just make the choice. So interestingly, after I did the meditation, I pulled one of my big major arcana cards, and I got, guess what? The Chariot. So we're definitely moving on, guys. Moving forward, no choice. Or you do have a choice, and I just said that wrong, but you have a choice and you have to make it and keep going. So let's get into our reading. As I've said before, I do a horoscope reading. It's going to show some love and relationships, some career, some psychological, how you're appearing. So it shows a little bit of everything. I can't tell you if there's going to be a major focus right now of this reading. The only thing is I follow the major arcana. So after the first round, which I'll go ahead and do, I will go to the areas that are coming up as most important for you. And if you can, before we do this, let's just clear our energy. Let's take a deep breath. I'm going to have you just look into the flame. Let me get this in here good for you. Let's just look into the flame and take a deep breath in. Hold it and release. And another deep breath in. Hold and release. Let's do one more. Hold and release. All right, guys. So I've shuffled the decks already before I started the video. So I'm just going to give it a quick charge up. Okay. And let me just go. And this is the ViceVersa deck. Whoops. And now this is the Fountain Tarot. As I suspected, Aquarius, we have a lot going on. Okay, guys. So right away, let's go to career and work first, because guess what? We have the Tower. So we have the Tower in our 6th house of work, our daily work, what we do for money. Basically, not necessarily our aspirations, but our daily work. And we have the Sun in reverse. So the Sun in reverse is basically not a bad thing. It's, I mean, it's not everything, but you're still, I mean, relatively, it's not too bad. You're okay. It's not as fulfilling as it could be, but you're okay. Now, the Tower card means that you've been on the wrong track, and you're going to get kind of a harsh correct. Now, the correct is necessary and needed to free you up, help you to move forward. It could be anything at work. There could be major changes at work. There could be some layoffs, some shuffling around, maybe a new manager. The manager doesn't like you. You're finally decided that I can't stay here anymore. This is, or maybe you've, a final straw thing will happen. Maybe some mistake will occur at work and it'll be put on you and it's not yours, but there's politics involved and, all that stuff. So something that's finally kind of the last straw. And I guess you're going to feel like you weren't happy there anyways, or this might be your impetus to really get your resumes out there and move on. But something's going to be quick, surprising. That's in the next 2 weeks. Anywhere from now. Today's Friday the 13th. Today's the harvest moon. Friday the 13th. Full moon energies. Perfect day to do this reading. But yeah, so some event is going to really, that's going to be the breaking point. So now I'm going to go to your 10th house that's related to your 6th house. And your 10th house is more your, how you appear in the world, your aspirations, your reputation, anything like that. And the 6 of Cups. Okay, so you could be feeling either that you're perceived as not a great catch out there, like we were just talking about, you're putting your resumes out there. You are a good catch. This is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So you almost have everything anyone needs, but there's some concern about youth. I don't know if you're concerned about your kids and the time you can work because you have to pick your kids up. It can be that you're either feeling that you're too inexperienced or new or young, or it can be the opposite. Maybe that you're not young and you might be perceived as someone who can't do computers or can't do any of the work, just the perception. So these are just some things that concern you, but because they're upside down, it's very easy to just, and here it is right here. So basically, in your mind, you have to realize that you are a catch for anyone in terms of your skills and your abilities, your personality, and your charisma and that type of thing. You have everything you need, and you are young enough or old enough or experienced enough. So it's just kind of just a wobbly, and wherever you feel that might be a weakness of yours, you're, let's say, trying to hide it or something, people pick that up. So in your head, you have to kind of try to release any fear you might have that you're not as up to competing with the others that are out there. So that's definitely one thing that's going on there. Other than that, there could be an aspiration to work with children. So if you have that, that could be maybe right now you're not, and you're in this other job, and what you'd really like to be doing is working with children, possibly teaching, maybe something in health, a coach, anything along those lines could also fit this picture. So let me go to your 11th house. This is social groups. Can be tied into career, but let's see. Okay. So in your social groups, and this could be tied into this issue with the tower. Could be. You're off on a new start because we have 5 of Swords. So you have the Fool and the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is definitely somebody playing dirty. And it's in your social group, so I'm not getting that it's you. I'm getting that others have been playing dirty towards you. And it's causing you to feel like you want to get a new start. You want to leave. That's fine, because I think that that's where you're headed anyways. You're, remember the Chariot card, you're going to be moving. You need to make a choice right now. You're not sure the outcome of either, but I think no matter what you choose, it's going to be fine. So 5 of Swords energy, someone's being devious. There's someone that's, they're threatened by you. You're pretty amazing, and you don't really know you're amazing, and they're undermining your work or undermining your confidence, or slight sabotage, maybe speaking to others or gossiping or that type of thing. Yeah, and so that's going to help you to decide that you're going to be on your way. So they're actually doing you a favor because you need that push to get moving. So 11th house. Now let's go, since we were doing a little psychological, I'm going to go to your 8th house and see if there's anything special there. Okay, so 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands in reverse and the Page of Swords. So usually that's like kind of a stalkery energy. Someone's watching you, someone's gossiping about you. 9 of Wands is like you possibly, usually it's a strength card, like you're gonna, this is the last push to the top of the mountain. You're almost there. But here you're going, I don't know if getting to the top of this mountain is my goal in life at this point. And there's somebody that's kind of, there's somebody that's getting under your skin a little bit. Now, this might be something to take a look at, because if someone's able to get under your skin, then they're pushing you in a part that is damaged or needs healing. Because technically what other people say and do shouldn't matter. If we have enough confidence and enough self-confidence, it shouldn't make a difference whatsoever. So you might look at that as a favor, in a sense, if you hear, or they're trying to push your buttons or something like that. Yeah, take a look at that. Anything that they're pushing at, and if it gets you angry and you go home and you can't get it out of your mind, maybe take a look at those things and work towards healing that. And like in terms of healing, I like to watch various, like there's a lot available on YouTube just for meditation. I mean, just really explore that. There's meditation videos like such as the one that I have playing now is good. Or there's different characters. I think one, I'm trying to think. There's like a Tracy Radley, I think, does some very interesting healing work. There's a fellow named Noble does some healing work. There's a few. Even just like some of the meditations that do any kind of relaxation or past life or anything can be very helpful with that. So let's see. Let's go to your first house, and this is you, Aquarius, and we've got Page of Wands and Justice. Okay, so here we go. So if you did apply for a job and you did interview for a job, you're going to get a message. You're going to get a message that, a good message, justice. You're going to get exactly what is coming to you. And I have a feeling that that would be a good thing, not a bad thing. I think you're going to have a message like that. So, and you also can be a messenger, because this is your first house, and this is your first house of the image that you're projecting, what people see when they see you. You could come across as someone who got a message of the scales being balanced. And in fact, there's a lot of scales to be balanced, like we were just talking about. So in a sense, you, by being on the upside of the situations, you don't have to stoop to the level of these others that are giving you a hard time. Basically, just being you gives others the message that justice, that you're in charge, and that you believe that they'll get theirs, their justice will come. You don't have to retaliate towards any of these situations. I think that's one thing. Another thing is a message that you may get, like if you have applied for a job, you're going to get it. That karma is balancing right now, and I do get a sense of that. I do get a sense of some deep psychological work being done on us as Aquarii, and some healing and some very emotional situations, and some progress forward. So you're coming across, and people can see that you are moving forward, and that karma is balancing. So it's actually really nice to come, for your self-image. The second house of your values. So we got the Fool again. This Fool is in reverse, and you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So we're still working with our Eight of Swords. I know we've been through this. Eight of Swords energy is like the tapes that run through your head that people help to implant there, that you're not good enough, you're not skillful enough, you're not intelligent enough, you're not good looking enough, you just aren't, you can't hope for that because you're you, those type of messages. Those we have to relinquish, and because this is coming up in the reverse, I think we're making progress on that, and this is in the second house. This is your values, your assets, who you are. And I think to your asset, this is starting to dissipate, and we're almost ready to move on. And I think this fully dissipating has to do with moving forward. So you can't solve the problem from this lower point that you're at. You have to move on, elevate. Just move on, elevate. The Fool wants to happen. So once the Fool's in progress, as we were talking about the fork in the road in the meditation, as you're at the Eight of Swords, when you're at that fork in the road with no water, sorry, no water, very hot and dry, don't know what the future's going to bring, pretty scared. And as you walk, you become lighter, younger, the water's fresher. And water can represent your emotions in that. So we have stale water initially, but then the water becomes fresher, cooler, so your emotions clear up, you become more youthful. So I think, wherever you choose to, you really need to choose to move from wherever situation, the situation that you're contemplating this month, take some action. Okay, so in your mind, we have the okay, this is beautiful because it's so clear, you guys. So we have Ten of Swords, and we have the World. So in your mind, and this is what's going on in your head. So right now, Ten of Swords, yes, I think we're feeling the Ten of Swords. I know I am, but feeling the Ten of Swords, but this is the completion of a karmic cycle. So this is where you've completed a lot of your karma, and you can hope, actually, that wherever you set foot, in whatever direction, it's going to be good for you. Because any of the lessons that you needed to learn, which are tough lessons, and we'll get confronted with things, basically we're finishing them up. It's a 10. Tens are the ending of things, and we're in a completion cycle. So again, the Fool, we have the World and the Fool repeatedly. So we're completing right now and moving forward. And the Eight of Swords, we're getting rid of that. And so beautiful, really, really good situation. Now, I'm going to go to our romance area. That's our 5th house. So let's see. So the 5th house. So we're not looking very romantic right now. We have the 10 of Wands and we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. So there's been like definitely some negative thinking in terms of relationships. Maybe you're not really wanting one because it seems like it's kind of a burden to be in one. I mean, that's just more emotional work. That's just more difficulties, drama. So 10 of Wands, you're kind of releasing anything that was going on with you. Maybe it was not the greatest. And if it had kept you up at night a little bit, wondering what the heck is going on, or watching the love tarot trying to figure each other out sort of thing, it's over for now. It looks like you're dropping the burden for now. You're dropping the burden and you're not letting it keep you up at night. You're resting, hopefully. Let's go to the 7th house. This is your more... The 7th house is your more committed relationships. And I have the Lovers in reverse and the 6 of Swords in reverse. So I think that if you haven't completely made a choice in this area, you may have made a choice without making a choice. And all but have moved on from a difficult situation. Now it's not clear to me like that this separation that's going on is forever, but I think for now, 6 of Swords in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, you're not making a choice for this person, so there's no positive movement towards this person, and it looks like there's not really any negative movement away. So it's kind of a little bit of a limbo. So yeah, not seeing a strong romance energy here. We've got, 9 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Wands, the Lovers in reverse, and 6 of Swords. So I'm thinking the next 2 weeks might be a time for you to work with your soul more so than with a particular other person. And that might be just taking a break from them. Okay, so in the 4th house, 2 of Wands and Page of Swords. Okay, so in the 4th house, this is where you might be discovering this Page of Swords energy that's coming up again, or you might have another. Be careful that you don't have like a stalker type person on your, when you're on the internet or around your home. I'm not saying dangerous stalker, but there could be somebody that is kind of a watcher or likes to spy on you on your social media, stuff like that. You're in charge of that. I mean, and this says 2 of Wands, it's no big deal. You can handle it, but there might be something, close your windows at night and do that sort of thing. It's not dangerous. It's not saying dangerous. It's, it's just like, 2 of Wands, he keeps his own counsel. I mean, he's in charge of situations. Just be careful. Lock your door when you go out. Don't leave your windows open. Don't be lax about, people could be looking in your window type thing. Again, don't be frightened. It's not giving me anything that's frightening, but... Okay, so the very interesting house, the 12th house of stuff, things we're not aware of that are going on. What we have here is 8 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups in reverse. So how I see this is beneath the surface, there's some very serious work going on. And I don't know if this is how you handle peer groups at work or pretty much anything. You're honing your skills. And it could be just a work situation, like honing your skills, as we were talking about in your 10th house. You weren't certain if you had all the skills. This is like, brushing up, maybe researching a little bit, maybe working on your resume so it's perfection, any of those things. I mean, this is really what's happening, and because it's unknown to you, it means it's really happening, that you're starting to look like really, really a catch in terms of career, in terms of, pretty much anything, even relationship. I mean, even the relationship's on hold right now, but that's for the next 2 weeks. Who knows what's going to happen, as that moves on. Nine of Cups. So you're almost there. Nine of Cups in reverse. It's still in the hunt. It can't be bad. Like Nine of Cups just can't be bad. It's like the Sun card. So you had the Sun card kind of in your sixth house, with the Tower, meaning something just falls short of the mark, and it's still falling short of the mark. So we're going to get more information on that. Actually, let's go ahead and get just something else on some other information on that. I'm going to use a Thelema deck and see what I get for that. But can I have another card on what's going on for Aquarius in the 12th house? So the unknown house. What movement is happening? What is this Nine of Cups in reverse? I mean, what's missing? What are they going to get maybe later, or what oversight? So I have Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands, I think what's hard for you is that you'd like everything to be harmonious. You'd like life to be peaceful, people to be kind. And I think what's hard for you in your sixth house of work and what's going on, the craftsmanship and how I was saying, it's like you're crafting your ability to deal with peer groups and that type of thing, is to maybe be able to accept that, you know, nature has tooth and claws, as they say, and everything's not going to be all peace and, you know, joy. Sometimes, you know, you have to have an acceptance for some of the behaviors of other people, and this Seven of Wands is like a battle, you know. And I feel like you felt like you had to be in the battle, and that you feel like not good about it because it doesn't feel like your nature, like you've been dropped down a level or something like that. But unfortunately, we're here. I mean, we're here on this planet. We're here to survive. And sometimes, you know, for people to understand you, because they're operating on a different frequency, you do have to drop it down so you can get your communication across, and, you know, be able to be understood by like that kind of lower level, lower vibration sort of thing. Don't stay there, and I don't think you can stay there, but just realize that they can't understand kind of the peace and love approach. Sometimes you have to get pretty straight with people. So that kind of covered that situation. So I think it's a great reading. I'm really excited about the world, and the Fool completely coincides with what I was, you know, envisioning when I sat down, with the two forks in the road, and you just can't stay here. You got to move. I mean, you're not going to survive in this place. You got to move forward. And the surprising, you know, that you become more youthful, more vibrant, your emotions clear up. You become, just by moving on. So it's time to do that, Aquarius. And I'm just going to get one of these mystical shaman cards real quickly here. Just, I don't know, just because, just for a little clarity, a little more information. What do we have for Aquarius for September? Well, we don't have a video.